Hi everyone. So today was a great day here and rainy. We had some warnings in effect for the rain, but thankfully my area was okay. And the day went by fast. I don't know what I did. I went to church, I did some groceries, came back, and then I did an essential oil mix for my stomach. My mom's getting better, so that's good news. Always happy when she's in good spirits and in good health. But I haven't called her or spoken to her. She normally lets me know, or she calls me when she's up to it. And today I wanted to talk about being independent in light of the attacks on Israel and the Hamas attacks at that disco. So when we were growing up, we always went out. We went out to discos. We went to our Queen's Club, which was for the Indians. We went to archipelagos. Once independence came, that was a white nightclub. It was a Greek nightclub, which we couldn't go to before independence. But after independence came, we went there. We went to Circus nightclub. So we enjoyed ourselves, and we were always encouraged to go out, go dancing, go enjoy ourselves. And even now, my mom will say to me, "Belinda, why don't you go out?" And I'm like, "Go out with who?" Like, I don't meet people that have the same interest as me, hard as I try. And I have been out once or twice in Toronto, but not that often. Once was when I first came to Canada, and then I went out dancing with one of my work colleagues. But yeah, I love to dance. It's nice to go out. I try to do the salsa dancing. But with that, you never know who you're going to be dancing with, so I left it. I used to go for the bachata dancing, and I just stopped after a while. And if you don't have money to go out, what are you going to do? So I stay at home and I put the music on and dance. But we were always encouraged by my mom to be independent, to go out. We used to go to a place in Cherubwe, which was by the river, which I was never comfortable with. They used to have these open-air discos by the river. I didn't like it, but I went with my sister because she was dating somebody that used to come from Gweru, and all of us used to go. I preferred going to our Queen's Club because it was well lit, it was safe, it was in town basically, it wasn't in the middle of nowhere. And those days we didn't even have cell phones, so anyway, it was a good time in our lives. And even with my mom was always independent. She would leave us at home and she would go out with her friends. She would go out to CWL meetings or go out to get-togethers, and she would leave us, the three children, and we'd look after each other. Sometimes we used to get frightened because we lived in the middle of nowhere. But Mr. and Mrs. Harry used to tell us, "We always here. You people just, if anything happens, you call us. We'll come over immediately." Sometimes my neighbor, Bhavna, she used to come and stay with us. And we missed her when she got married because we were closest to her. And she would always come and stay with us. Sometimes she would sleep over, like when my mom went to India the first night, she came and she slept over. She would take us to school, she would bring us home while my mom was away. And our car got stolen, unfortunately, while mom was away, but they did find it. The police were very good like that in Zimbabwe. They used to find the cars. And we never used to leave too much petrol in the car because that also was a deterrent, because then they couldn't get very far. We used to just fill up with whatever we needed. But yeah, for all the single women out there, women who have lost your partners, maybe your partner has died, or maybe you're divorced, or you're separated. I mean, it happens. I've had very positive examples in my life with women who have gotten divorced or who have had a partner die, and especially in my mom, because she never sat around moping and feeling sorry for herself. She always went out, she enjoyed herself, she took the car and she went to different places, and it was my dad that encouraged her to get her license and to drive. because he was sick, and it was always in the back of his mind that if I don't come back, you need to be independent, you need to be able to move around, take the kids, go out, enjoy your life. So I guess we had a good example in my dad and my mom. But it happens in life sometimes. We don't give up, and we don't just sit at home and mope and feel sorry for ourselves. I do everything I can, even if it's just going to the church or going out. I used to go to the jazz festivals in the beaches. I used to go to the Salsa festivals. Even if I had to go on my own, I used to just go, listen to the music, spend the day out, enjoy the time, and then come home. And it's a good way to get to know the neighborhoods in Toronto as well, because I'm not one to sit around and mope and feel sorry for myself and say, oh, I wish I had friends that I could do something with. That's just the way my life turned out. The people I've met have not had the same interests as me, and I've just made the most of it. When I go to the tennis, I go by myself. When my brother was here, I asked him, do you want to come? I'm going to go see Andy Murray. And he said, no, we're not coming. We won't be able to make it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I went out, I enjoyed the day. And the nice thing about tennis in Canada is when you buy your ticket, if you buy it for the morning, you can spend the whole day on the grounds. They have different matches going on, and you can go and sit and watch all the other players while they're practicing or while they have the runner-up games that they are playing. So I enjoyed it. I got to see Koda, I got to see Casper Rudd, I got to see Felix Alasami play. I got to see a lot of different people aside from the main event that I bought the ticket for. So it's fun. It depends on what you make of life. If you're going to sit at home and be miserable and say, oh, I'm sick and nothing's working out for me, and I wish I could just go back to Zimbabwe, then that's how it will stay like that. But if you make the most of it, if you go out, if you enjoy whatever's available, even with the conferences, I mean, I can't afford the HRPA conferences because I barely have enough to get my groceries for the month, and I take the free conferences because they include three free conferences in your membership. So I take that. I take the lunch and learns. My supervisors were very good, so instead of taking the day off when I had my sessions booked, they would allow me to log off for that time and then do the lunch and learn and come back and log in. So there's always opportunities and ways to do things, and at least here we have the transportation. We can get around. Where we lived, it was in the middle of nowhere. There was no bus or anything. So our friends used to come, they used to pick us up, and then we would go with them, and then they would drop us off after the party was over. Or we'd have house parties, and then we used to stay up and then go watch the sunrise at Dutchman's Pool, go to the river, and then come home and make breakfast for our parents. And we would all sit down and have breakfast, and then us youngsters would go to sleep. So we enjoyed our lives. And I hope everybody can have those same experiences. I don't think people should have to live in fear of going out to nightclubs and parties and open air discos and fear being blown up or kidnapped or raped. Or, I mean, I watched those early news sessions that came out about how they found the bodies and all that of these Israeli youngsters. I call them youngsters, but I mean they were out, all the young people out at the party. Once you're over 50, you can call yourself old. But yeah, staying independent is good, doing everything we can to get into good paying jobs, working hard, upgrading our skills. You know, the children watch and the children learn from us, and even my nieces, they watch. Like I told them, when I was growing up, I went to work on a camp and I saw for the first time women playing soccer. And they're like, oh, didn't you have that? I said, no, we didn't have that when I was growing up. So they like to play soccer now. But yeah, they watch us and they learn from us. And if they can't have a better life than me, then what's the point? If they are going to have to wear hijabs or go work in Muslim countries where their women's rights won't be respected or live in fear, then what's the point? I mean, one day I'm going to leave all this. God has blessed me, but one day I'm going to leave all this. I just want to be able to help them. I want them to have more than I had. And if I get the money, I want to be able to help them to buy their own places. At the end of the day, that's what life is about. And that's the legacy that I know my South African friends are also like that. They want to buy homes for their children. They want to see them successful. They want to see them happy in good paying jobs. And if the blacks are just going to destroy the country, whether it's South Africa or Zimbabwe, then what's the point? What's the point of the independence and all that? They can do things without the West. If they can go and take the Israeli people to court for the Palestinians, why can't they do things to build up Africa itself? As I can tell you now, most of us would not have left Zimbabwe, would have gone home if things were okay and if we were welcomed, and if the black people didn't say, oh, we only want black majority rule and we don't want anybody else. Things could have been different. The people that are there now because they couldn't leave. Most of them are sending their children overseas once they get the opportunity. But it's sad for us. It's sad for us. For me especially, I love Zimbabwe. I loved everything about it. I loved staying at the Victoria Falls Hotel, watching the monkeys come and grab the fruit off the table, seeing the wildlife, the elephants, the lions, the cheetahs, waking up in the morning. Here I hear the cardinals, but there's different birds over there that you hear. The crickets at night, seeing the Milky Way. I enjoyed all those things about Zimbabwe. And we went through tough times. We went through years of having empty shelves, no meat in the stores, no basic foods, no mealie meal, no bread. Go to the shop though, it's all sold out. Rationing. We went through all that. Then what's the point if they're just going to break everything and poison the CEO of Eskom with cyanide? I mean, I don't get it. If someone can explain to me how people can live and have great divides and see some people will have great properties and homes and be earning like $35 an hour and others have nothing. I mean, for me, when I was earning that, I wanted to clear my debt and then start saving. And my mother knows. My mother will tell you, even when I was small, I opened 3 bank accounts and I saved in those bank accounts for my mom, my sister, and my brother. And I gave it to them for Christmas. So that's the type of person I am. But if you don't get the opportunities, if you're blocked at every turn, at every level, how are you going to come up? I mean, it's sad for me. I don't deserve it, and it's being done deliberately. So, anyway, let's see how it goes. But yeah, wherever you are, ladies, stay independent. Have your own bank accounts, work, take good paying jobs, and then help the next generation. If you can help me to get a good executive assistant job, help me too. But, I mean, our children are watching. My nieces are watching. People are watching. So, it's important for us. If my mother had just said, oh yeah, stay at home, you people don't go out anywhere, just stay at home. Don't go to the discos, don't party, don't do anything. You just stay at home here with me. It would be different. But we were not raised that way. So, enjoy life, it's too short.